Shout, shout, let it all out. This was a game we could do without until we realised, of course, that Wembley is only 2 steps away, and all of a sudden the Vertu Trophy becomes a virtue indeed. Hello, welcome to Wrexham I Follow. I am Mark Griffiths. I'll soon be joined by Andy Morrell and Mia Roberts there, pitch side, completing their match preview, which you can catch the end of on Wrexham's official YouTube channel, of course. And we are here for full live commentary of Wrexham against Bolton Wanderers in the quarter-final of the Vertu Trophy, a competition which, once you get to this point, suddenly starts to feel a lot more serious. Wembley is 2 games away, and indeed these teams even know that they will have a home semi-final against Peterborough United, who, well, surprisingly, are 1 place above relegation going into today's games. They're playing in the league. There's a sort of half programme of League One matches which are going on simultaneously to this game. But wow, yeah, all of a sudden there's hopes of a cup run. All of a sudden, well, these teams are interested, and it's kind of reflected in the lineups, although we've got to remember, of course, that Wrexham have got terrific squad depth, and after the performance last Tuesday at Port Vale, it's not too surprising to see that an awful lot of the players who did very well in that victory are making a start today. There are alterations though, and interesting ones. Most interesting, Jack Marriott's first start since injury. It'll be great to see him back on the pitch. So going through that Wrexham side, Arthur Okonkwo, who of course made 3 magnificent saves in the game at Port Vale. He is in goal. There's change at the back. Tom O'Connor and Dan Scarr, joined this time by Lewis Brunt rather than Max Cleworth. Cleworth is on the bench. The wing backs are unchanged. Ryan Longman and Seb Revan. While in the middle of midfield as well, we picked the players who did so well at Vale Park. George Evans, back from an injury, of course, anchoring Elliot Lee and Andy Cannon. But a change up front, as I said, Jack Marriott comes in up front alongside Mo Farr. Subs bench for Wrexham is strong. Luke McNicholas is the backup keeper. Cleworth is there alongside Jacob Mendy, and then Ryan Barnett, Ollie Rathbone, Jay Rodriguez and Sam Smith. So good options there for Phil Parkson should he choose to change things around. As for the Bolton side, well, they've made changes from Saturday's 4-3 win against Crawley, but not a huge amount of changes, frankly. It'll be interesting to see what they perform like for a new manager, Steve Schumacher. This is only his 3rd game in charge for them. And frankly, he's picked a strong side. He's got injuries, he's got suspensions, and he's got cup-tied players. So his hands have been tied a little bit, and he's pretty much picked the strongest side that he can. So in goal is Nathan Baxter. He was in goal for that win on Saturday. 3 of the back 4 are also the same. Jock Dacres-Cogley as right back, Owen Toll and Will Forrester as the centre-backs. Gethin Jones comes in at left back. Jones, Australian player who, as well, was credited with the 100th minute winner on Saturday, although I think most people felt it was an own goal. A shot by him that was deflected in. In midfield, Josh Sheehan remains. George Thomason comes in, but it's got to be said, Thomason is a first teamer. The reason he didn't play last Saturday, he was suspended. In fact, he's able to take advantage of a slight quirk in the rules, because he is suspended for last Saturday, was suspended as well for next Saturday, but that suspension doesn't count in the EFL trophy, so he's able to play today. So it could be a box midfield with Jay Mateta and Clyde Lawless coming in, and then up front, Victor Adeboyeji. There's a lot of quality on the bench for them in terms of John McAtee and also Aaron Collins, experienced striker who was supposed to be unfit for today, but all of a sudden has recovered enough to get onto the bench Subkeeper Luke Southwood is there. Jode Osei Tutu started on Saturday. And they've got 3 youngsters of very little experience. Ben Andriucho, Sonny Sharples Ahmed and Sam Inwood. Well, we're about to get things underway then. Wrexham kicking towards the Kop. And we may well, surely we'll have the biggest crowd Wrexham have ever had at the Stoke Kairos for this competition. A mark set last season when we had over 7,000 here when Newcastle under-21s came. And the atmosphere is impressive. Bolton have sold out their allocation, and Bolton in green and white get underway, feeding the ball back immediately to Baxter, who knocks it long, and it skids off the top of O'Connor's head. Scar has to come across to put it out of play. Yeah, but at that point in the tournament now, aren't we, where you start taking things seriously?
Yeah, I think so, and you find yourself in that situation when you're suddenly 2 wins from Wembley. Your next game is at home as well. You know that already coming into this game. Gives you a massive, little bit of bite coming into this match tonight, thinking, you know what, the challenge isn't that difficult.
Marriott chases down the goalkeeper, has a dreadful first touch and gets rid of it in the end, but that was a scary moment. The referee quite rightly has pulled play back because Farl clattered into a defender in the box. Surprised he tried to make advantage of that one, but well, you say about Marriott's players getting it close to Wembley and getting stuck in. Marriott's is another reason as well to get stuck in. He's making his first start for ages, and he certainly chased enthusiastically there, didn't he?
Yeah, well, the keeper just had one, didn't he? He just went to sort of take a little dummy to maybe take a touch, but just got it all wrong, went under him, gave Farl a chance. Like you say, he came and absolutely mullered Forrester on this side, I think it was.
As Wrexham looking to come forwards again, that'll be tidied up easily enough, and the fans are enjoying mocking Baxter. Funny feeling they're not going to get another chance to see him do something like that. As now Bolton feed the ball forwards, lay up by Adebayo's heavy, and ricochets for a throw to Wrexham on the halfway line. It'll be thrown quickly into George Evans, who lifts it up looking to switch play. Nice idea. It's a great ball to Revan, who can't quite bring under control. Took it with his head. Maybe he didn't have to, but the way Evans was pinging the ball around like a quarterback at Vale Park was brilliant to see. He's on an unhappy season so far with injury and maybe not quite hitting the form he'd like to.
No, great to see him back fit though, and that's what maybe this competition, you've got to give it credit, it does allow you to bring these players back in from injury. That's one of its benefits, particularly in the earlier rounds, and it's just allowed George Evans to sort of come in these games, not as much pressure as there would be in a league fixture, to just get these minutes in those legs.
Bolton happy at the moment to move it around at the back and just settle on the ball. As in the end, it's driven on the diagonal. Dacres Cogley looking for Jones. That's a good pass. Jones can't keep it in. No backpedaling. He takes it on the chest and goes off the pitch. Throw to Wrexham 20 yards out from their goal. Left-hand side, which O'Connor will take. Brunt lining up an unfamiliar position on the right-hand side of the back three. He's usually on the left, of course. O'Connor looking for Farl in the air, but he's beaten well by Toll, and the throw-in goes Bolton's way, about 30 yards out. It's Gethin Jones to take. Puts it in short and gets it back from Mateta. And then the ball backwards allows Bolton's centre-backs to have a bit of space. Forrester moves it on again. And here now is Dacres Cogley, and on the left-hand side, he feeds it back in. Wrexham's midfield, maybe a little bit deep. Sheehan helps it on again to the right, and it's a long-range shot driven in. Touched wide by Adebayo, but Wrexham stepped off a little bit and allowed a bit of space in midfield there.
Yeah, they really dropped off, like you say, Mark, and the players in the middle, Josh Sheehan and Thomason, like you say, are real quality players, particularly Thomason, obviously a real first starter for Bolton. So we can't allow them too much room because they will damage.
Throw-in goes Bolton's way, 10 yards into Wrexham's half, and you can see straight away they're looking to keep the ball, looking to move it about.
Yeah, I think you were talking, Mark, at the start about the formation that Bolton might take up, and it's a box 4 midfielders. So you've got Sheehan and Thomason just sitting in front of the back 3, but then you've got Lawless and Matete. They're just ready to go and help and engage, and Adebayo up front. But then when they get back, they got a lot of bodies behind the ball.
Here's Longman. We've seen the quality of his crossing. He looks for Marius at the near post, just about cleared by Johnston. Wrexham now trying to box Bolton in, but it's a neat piece of play to get out of trouble back there by Johnston. But yeah, Lawless we've seen playing here for Crawley, and he looks a nice, creative player, sort of player who'd flourish in those sorts of positions between the lines. As Bolton now move it around to the back. Although that breakaway by Wrexham then started when Adebayo's played for a foul that wasn't on, and he needs maybe on his own up front to be a bit stronger than that. But now here is a threat as Dacres Cogley's cutting in from the left. Johnston joining in from centre back, 30 yards out. Hubs are on. Sheehan on once more, and Bolton are penning Wrexham in at the moment. Matete lays it back. It's popped scared once more by Thomason. Good pressure on the edge of the area. The cross comes in, and well, Okonkwo has to tip it over. It was a cross and there was no one attacking it, but it dropped over Okonkwo's head. He had to backpedal, stretch and tip it over, and he collided with a post, and he may need some treatment here, but that was nearly a fluky goal.
No, but he does really well in the end, Arthur Okonkwo, because it turns into a little bit of a scramble. Just the way the ball sort of swerves in the air, he really catches a hold of it well. I'm not sure if he's actually intending to try and find that far post, but it's definitely going to find the back of the net if Arthur doesn't get a finger to it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Good reflexes, wasn't it? Good response by him.
Yeah, he hit the post as he turned, though, didn't he? Absolutely mullered on the post, but it does the right thing. Make sure the ball doesn't go in his net first and foremost. Little tip over.
Sheehan plays it flat to the 6-yard box, and no nonsense clearance smashed out for a throw on the halfway line by Scar. As you say, Mia, it's a chance to get people going as well, isn't it? And Scar's another player like Evans who's lacked continuity, but he's managed to look good in this competition.
Yeah, he has, and I think he's one, him and O'Connell have sort of substituted each other, every few weeks when maybe one's had a little bit of a difficult game, and we've obviously had that depth to just bring the other one in, when maybe we could just do with a little bit of that continuous game streak, which, this competition has allowed Dan Scar to have.
Fowler's unlucky. He makes an interception midfield, but he's outnumbered and crowded off the ball. And now Bolton again can build from the back. Johnson shut down quickly by Cannon, but it's Bolton who are making the sharper stars, and Brunt has to be quick to intercept. Wrexham look to break, but again, Thomason is there, just getting in the right place at the right time. Then he's in the wrong place at the wrong time as Sheehan tries to switch and drills it straight into his thigh. Luckily for Bolton, there was a teammate there to mop up the loose ball, but Wrexham have got back into their mid-block now as Bolton move it around from right to left. They played a back 4 in Schumacher's first game, and then a back 5, no, I beg your pardon, the other way around, a back 5 in his first game, then a 4 last Saturday. Now it's 5 again, as he's clearly looking through his options, getting to know his squad. Maybe this competition came at a good time for him as well, as Mateta ultimately runs into a trap and Wrexham are able to tackle him, throw into Bolton 30 yards out right hand side.
I'm just looking at our midfield 3 against their 4. We're really unsure about who to mark, but what we've got 3 centre halves marking 1. So one of those has to be really brave, step into that pocket when the ball's free, if they're behind their midfielder, because our 3 midfielders are going to shuffle over and leave the far one. They've got to be brave enough to pick him up and go straight in and not give him any time to turn and shoot.
At the moment, it seems our default is that Fowle dropped off, hasn't he, into midfield and was picking up the 4th man, but as Wrexham lose the ball, Cannon squares it, but, well, it's broken up in the end. Evans does well, and the ball ricochets back in the end to the box, but no harm done. Easy for Okonkwo as he bowls the ball out to the right-hand side. Brunt, right-footed, lofts one for Fowle. There's a real wrestling match going on with Johnston. Ref decides neither of them have broken the rules. Cannon feeds it around the back looking for Marius, but it's not accurate and intercepted comfortably. Wrexham again try to stop Bolton from playing out, but once they shift it into the box, they have to step off and Bolton can start again.
Yeah, the Bolton fans have been really up for it, haven't they, so far? Early on, fully packed in to our right-hand side. Very, very noisy, cheering their team on. They know how important a competition like this is for all their players and their fans and their club. Wrexham have got to be equally up for it.
Yeah, like I said, new manager, and if he can get things going, he can get himself, like I said, third match of his reign into a semi-final, get some momentum moving. The spectacular win they had on Saturday, losing 3-1 to Crawley with 6 minutes left. Got 2. And it's a good ball, finds Thomason, corner of the box. Cannon's got back well to put pressure on, but the cross still comes in, and it could come in again. Dacres Cogley working it in square. Lawless flicks it beyond his man, goes down rather theatrically in the box, though. Referee's absolutely not interested in that. And now Wrexham, well, again, look to not go long, but with foul dropping off to pick up, Marriott's quite isolated up front. So it comes back at us, and Bolton are really controlling possession here. Lawless receives and pops it back to Johnston. Bolton happy to move it around, looking for little pockets. Mateta's gone wide on the right and dragged Elliott Lee out with him. As a result, there's a little run into the middle, dragging Cannon across. Now there's space to the left-sided centre-back, Johnston, because Wrexham's defence is lopsided. The ball forward ricochets off Brunt dangerously, driven in by Dacres Cogley. Good save by Okonkwo, but they opened us up beautifully then, shifting from left to right, and could easily have benefited.
Yeah, well, I think the pass was strong. I think it would have gone out for a goal kick had Brunt not got a toe on it. His inadvertent toe just lifts it a little bit, takes the pace off it and drops right in his path. Poor touch, enables it to bounce up in front of him. Then it's really difficult to get it down, but gets it on target. Good save by Okonkwo down to his right-hand side.
I just started commentating into my bottle. I'm proud of myself. Corner left-hand side will be an in-swinger. Possibly the best moment of my life. Corner comes in, Okonkwo, mispunches it. It goes wide of the box though, and foul is nudged. Referee's given a very generous free kick to Wrexham there. He was nudged. I wouldn't say it's more than that. I'd love to see a defender nudge a striker in the box and give away a penalty for that sort of contact. But yeah, Okonkwo attacked it, got under it and just sliced it behind him, didn't he?
Yeah, he got enough on it to divert it out and up away from his goal. But you'd prefer a real stronger wrist, I think, in there. But yeah, it's a push in the back for foul. Bit strong. It was a free kick. But yeah, Wrexham need to make a few passes here, I think, and try and get the ball down and take the sting out of it. You know, I think Stevenage came here and sort of given a blueprint of how you could possibly beat Wrexham if you come here, and they've gone with a very similar idea of 3 strikers narrow to stop us playing out. And so we go long into 3 centre-halves that are all very, very strong aerially.
As Wrexham looking to play out from the back at court out, Matete did really well to close down, dispossess Evans, and Evans again had to track back into the box and tackle and put the ball behind for a corner. So Bolton by far the better side in the early stages. Wrexham with another set piece to defend. Bolton have got a line of players around the penalty spot. It's swept to the far post and it's a free header for Johnston. Drops in the goal mouth, hacked partly away, and Marius picks her up on the edge of the area, but he loses it to Matete. Wrexham just can't keep the ball at the moment. Matete back into midfield, but goodness me, this is impressive by Bolton. Sheehan into the centre circle, and those fans that Andy was talking about, wow, they're louder than ever. As Forrest will let Sheehan take over. Johnston's got an option out wide, but they're quite happy just to move it around narrow at the moment and pick their moments to feed it onwards. Jones looks for a little give and go. It's Revenue gets a foot in, throw in. Ref feels Jones is stealing some yards, sends him backwards, so he throws it back into his own half.
Yeah, I think it was a real chance for Bolton off that corner, though. It's a really nice run from Johnston. I think it's Tom O'Connor who's marking him and just gets almost distracted. His eyes are on the ball, not his man. He just loses him. I think Johnston maybe could just do a bit better, get a bit better contact on that header, putting it back into the box. But a bit of a warning sign for Wrexham just on those set pieces.
Here's Matete on the right-hand side. Pressure from O'Connor, who stepped up to the halfway line to track him. And now Bolton feed it forwards over the top. It's a miscontrol by the Beasia, where it drops kindly for Gethin Jones. Lawless tries to play the killer pass, gets too much on it, straight through to Okonkwo. But
just not at the races yet.
No.
Just haven't got to grips with the formation of Bolton and the way that they're set up. We haven't made a pass yet at all. And we're conceding ground. Every first ball, second ball, look, non-competitive first ball. Got to somehow try and be brave and play a little bit.
Well, we have it at the back. Brunt up to Marriott, holding her up under pressure as well. Lee now in the halfway line. I mean, Lee and Cannon have barely got into the game yet. Here, Lee finds Marriott. Early ball to the left-hand side. O'Connor has a little bit of space. Works it wide. Revan crosses. Hits Jones. Throw by the corner flag. That's better. But we needed that. I wouldn't like to see the possession figures taken quickly, but O'Connor's cross is under hit. Still, Bolton are penned in for once. O'Connor picks up the second ball. Lee down the line. Revan holds her up. Lee couldn't get there in time. He was blocked off the ball. And when it's fed to Marriott, Marriott gets a free kick. It was impatient defending by Toll, I would argue. But, yeah, Marriott was cute. Felt the contact. Free kick about 30 yards out left-hand side.
Yeah, the opportunity to put a cross in a couple of times. Didn't beat that first man. But certainly we've made 2 or 3 passes. We're able to get up the pitch. Especially with one of our centre-halves stepping in as well. Because that will mean Mateta or Lonos has to come back and help. So that's one less player further up the pitch.
It's a high line Bolton are holding, level with the wall on the edge of the D. The free kick was only about 25, 30 yards out. Left-hand side, O'Connor signals. Clips it into that inviting gap. Defender gets a touch. And then it struck Mateta. Bounced out and the ball ricochets behind in the end for a goal kick. Brunt couldn't make anything of it. Shout for handball for some people behind us, but nah.
No, I don't think so. I think it is side. But a lovely shape to the ball in, right in that corridor. Go and attack it. But yeah, I think it was Andy Cannon, was it, on the edge of the box. Just got a leg around to try and put it back in. Just a bit strong and out for a goal kick. But a little bit better from Wrexham. At least we've been in Bolton's half.
Yeah, it's always nice to see, isn't it? Goal kick taken and well won in the air by Longman. Farl picks the ball up from Cannon and is brought down. Free kick to Wrexham. Dacres Cogley doesn't like that decision. It's a free kick in midfield. Revan is desperate for the ball to be played in behind. He thought he could time a run and get him behind. Lee is making that run now. The free kick is taken and Evans tries to find him but puts too much on it. Only headed away as far as Farl. Under pressure, good strength. Plays in Cannon. The pass forces him wide, but Cannon has got Longman outside him. Longman again against Dacres Cogley. Rips the ball in too close to the keeper. Goes onto his left foot. He's frustrated. He felt somebody should have been attacking that 6-yard box.
Yeah, well, he's new to the team, so we don't really know what he's going to do at the moment. So he's been brilliant, hasn't he? 3 assists already this season with Wrexham in 3 games. And every time he's cut out onto that right foot and just put a lovely ball in. That time he just eases it onto his left foot, puts a great shaped ball in, but the 2 strikers are just looking at each other going, well, I didn't expect that. So next time when he does shift it, you know where to go.
Exactly. It looked tempting. But the only player anticipating it was the defender who ran back and ushered it back to the keeper, as he is Forrester. Rolling it into the feet of Adebayo. And in the end, when it's played again to Lolos, good work by Brunt to snap in and get a foot in. And Marriott's chasing this lost cause. Forrester does well to step away from him. Wrexham, well, followed up that little spell of pressure by keeping Bolton at arm's rest for a little bit. Baby steps. Baxter on the edge of the box. Right-footed. Drills it long. Backpedaling. Scar is underneath that. Unchallenged. He heads it into Bolton's half. Farl will pick up the loose ball and feeds it back to O'Connor. And Wrexham just starting to get a bit more possession. Scar can build up from the back. 19th minute, 0-0. Wrexham will have to be fairly satisfied with that. Lee from deep feeds it to the feet of Farl. Farl goes down. That isn't a foul, despite the protest of Phil Parkinson, but Bolton give it away. Evans nicks it back nicely off Matete, and now it's Wrexham going forwards. Brunt accelerating with the ball at his feet. Plays in Longman. He's got the 2 strikers in the box. He wants to take on Cogley. Pulls it back in the end. And Yeah, maybe he should have delivered because Bolton got players behind the ball. Lee plays a glorious ball round the back. Longman pulls it back just behind Marriott, and it's lovely play by Thomason, who manages to hold off foul, turn on the penalty spot, and then release Jones down the right. He's going to get Adebayo ahead of him, and in the end, he takes on more than he can chew. O'Connor tackles him. Promising this though, and Wrexham coming to life. Evans sees a chance to ping a diagonal. That could be offside. It is offside. Shame because Longman brought it down well, but I've got to be honest, I thought it was just off when the ball was hit.
Yeah, I think Evans just delayed, didn't he? And Longman had just gone just that little millisecond too early, but much better from Wrexham. Real good chance. Longman again at the heart of it. Just maybe on that first, almost that little bit of time he had, could he have put that ball in a little bit sooner? I think the second one, maybe the runs have already been made, but much better from Wrexham.
Well, how cool by Thomason in his own box. Take a touch, nice bit of pressure on the right hand side. I'll just shift it to the left. Oh, bit of left. Oh, I'll just take it around this way, and then I'll just roll it to my mate who's just on the edge of the box.
It was lovely, wasn't it? He was so calm. Players all round him. He just unravelled like a toilet roll in the night. As Bolton knock it over the top, Bruntu gets a touch, which now means he's got to try and save this and go in for a corner, and he can't. He got a foot to it and then lost balance, and it rolled over the line. First pressure Bolton have had for a bit. That moment as well with Evans' diagonal, like I said, I think the linesman was right. I think he was just offside, but wonderful touch by Longman. It's a shame. And also, okay, I think Dacres-Cogley had managed to get in and get ahead of him. But good to see Dacres-Cogley defending, because he spent the first 10 minutes in the level of the edge of our area trying to run into the box. But Wrexham have changed the pattern a bit. Corner then, in swinger. Lots of bodies around the penalty spot again. Again, a player's got free at the far post, headed back in, but comfortably taken by Okonkwo. Marriott wants an early delivery. Okonkwo, I think, is wise not to play that, because he spotted Revan bursting on a diagonal run. And it's an important piece of play by Dacres-Cogley to get there ahead of him. I think Okonkwo did well to spot that run, delay in players, and luckily for Wrexham, Dacres-Cogley was alert to it. Here's Jones now, feeding it backwards. This has got a bit more life about it now. As Forrester once more in the middle. Wrexham need to watch out though. That's twice centre-backs have got themselves free at the far post of those corners as Thomason picks up a good position between the lines, feeds in Adebayo, who has to hold it up rather, and Longman gets back well to tackle him, changes direction just to shake him off his trail as well. And now Okonkwo takes a touch and feeds a good ball into midfield. The crowd are scared, but Okonkwo is
I was scared.
Fair enough. Elliot Lee feeding it to Farl and doesn't get the pass right. There were options there for Wrexham. And now it's Matete put under pressure as well with 3 Wrexham players round him to prod it backwards to Sheehan. Forrester once again. Fascinating game this now as it's developing. We're bang on halfway through the first half. And Wrexham responded well after a really strong start by Bolton. Sheehan.
But what they've worked out, Wrexham, is that Dacres-Cogley's right high and wide out there, which is dropping Longman into that sort of right back position. And so it's Brunt that has to go in with Lolos. He has to go in when he drops deeper and into that little pocket. Just go with him, because we're 2 for 1 still behind with Adebayo. So stay with him. Just go right in with him and be brave. And he's certainly done that the last couple of times.
Tremendous ball down the line by Longman. Marius only has Farl in the middle, so he waits. Cannon gets in the box, bursts down the right. Johnston won't let him past him, so Cannon holds on to it. Back to Longman, whose excellent pass started this move. Level the edge of the box, taking on Dacres-Cogley again. Left-footed cross once more. It's a good one, and it just got over Lee's head and is prodded to the flank where Revan picks it up 10 yards out. Tries to get away from his man. Jones is sticking to him well, but Revan's managed to turn and he's facing the box now. Rips in the cross. Nasty one. Well defended by Toll at the near post. Revan wins another header. Goal kick. The Wrexham are looking threatening when they're coming forwards, putting decent stuff in the box.
Well, it's certainly been better, hasn't it? Really good quality by Longman again out on that right-hand side. Puts a lovely ball in. Again, this time one cuts onto his left foot. Everybody knows it's coming in because he's got that half a yard. And there's a lovely bit of movement, like I say, just over the top of Elliott, and Mo Farl can't make it either. But they're penning them in. They're not giving them a second and and we're winning those second balls at the moment.
It's nice, isn't it? When Longman came, you sort of thought, oh, it's an interesting signing. Now you see him play a couple of times. You think, how's Ryan Barnett's got a problem here? As Cannon plays a good ball to the left outside. Marriott brings it down in the box. Tries one in the corner. A goal kick given. I'm not sure how that's a goal kick. Marriott took on the centre-back Toll and, well, struck the ball. It seemed to stick between Toll's feet and then roll over the line.
Well, he's not really shouted for it though, Marriott, has he? He's not really gone a little bit mad, so maybe he's just seen that, just maybe ricocheted and come off him and gone out. But again, really good play, nice ball by Cannon over the top for Marriott. I thought he might just be able to shift it onto his right foot and blast it.
Good foot in the midfield again. By this time, Brunt, who again, as Andy said, is tracking Lolos tightly. Revan does well to win a throw-in. He didn't shout for it much, when you see the angle from the other side, he looked really sad. So I reckon that's what that's what it was. It just hit him inside. So, throw-in down the line, O'Connor fouls. Being wrestled, the crowd point that out. This time foul, to be fair, doesn't complain. Ball's headed away by Sheehan. Good header by Evans to get it partly clear. Cannon tackling. Real battle this. Revan tries to knock it over the top. Intercepted by Johnston. Still, no, it's head tennis. Lolos misses his head. Is scarred as well. Just gets up and nods it down. And Brunt with a very cute little pass around the corner. O'Connor now on the left. Approaches the halfway line. Looking for options. He lets Lee take over. George Evans in his own half. It's the basis of the team that won at Port Vale. And I like the way they move the ball around now. They've got the rhythm going again. They did the same on Tuesday. Different team from the first team and a slightly different feel to it as Revan puts the ball out of play under pressure. He felt he was fouled. I'm with the officials on this one. But, they moved it all. Evans being the sort of quarterback, popping the ball around. It's got a slightly different feel to it and quite like it.
Yeah, well, then what if they're 3 up against 3? Evans drops in, makes a 4. So we've got a little overload there that we should be able to, with the keeper, we should be able to 5, we should be able to play out. But we've really struggled with that against Stevenage and struggled with it in the first 10 minutes here, but we've sort of managed to now get a grip of it.
Longman has passed the ball straight back to Adebayejo in the box. And it's important defensive work to rob him and then clear the ball by Longman, making up for his error. It was a horrible mistake. He turned looking for help. Nobody's really showing for him, to be fair, but he rolled a lovely little assist then, didn't he? Can't resist putting those good balls into the box at either end. The ball bounces through to Okonkwo.
Yeah, I think it was Arthur that showed for him, and I think he's just played that ball sort of in between Lewis Brunt and Okonkwo and just got it wrong in the end, but does well to recover in all fairness to him.
Wrexham confident out from the back, short goal kick. Brunt trusts Evans under pressure and he pings a neat little ball over to the right hand side. Brunt with his right foot chips it. Is Marius onside? It was headed clear by Forrester and smacked away for a throw to Wrexham 35 yards out.
Well, I thought he'd gone a little bit early again as well. He was maybe just from the linesman's perspective. He started onside, but a good little run. I like that we offer him behind, because what that should do, that will drop, they'll keep dropping, and then hopefully that will be then create the room for Cannon, Lee to get on the ball.
Yeah, I think he was off. I suppose it doesn't come into play unless it actually drops through for him. I always think that's a bit of a daft element to the offside rule, that you're not interfering if you're running in behind the defence. Well, obviously you are, because the defence will react differently because you've run in behind as Lee looks to play a ball in for far, the angle's not on. I remember getting really irate. Steve Thomason scored an own goal against Braintree, and he scored it because there was a player standing offside, and if he didn't put his foot in, it would go to him, and he didn't know if it was offside or not. And I was like, well, clearly he's interfering the play because Thomason leaves it otherwise. And then all of a sudden, there's a referee's forum tearing into me. And it was like, well, okay, the rules do say I'm wrong. I accepted they had a point, but I'm not sure the rules are right. Here's O'Connor. That's a lovely ball down the left-hand side. Elliot Lee takes a touch and has to fight to try and keep it in, but he's pulled to the ground unnecessarily by Toll. Free kick to Wrexham on the left-hand side. Sheehan gets a yellow for dissent. he has been man marking the ref. He's still complaining. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, I remember that Braintree game as well, managing that. And I said exactly the same as you, Mark, but obviously the referees and the rules for me were all a little bit a cop, but what do I know? That might have been my last game, actually. I'm not sure.
No.
As manager, no?
No, I don't think so.
It's burnt a hole in my memory anyway, I know that.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the traumas. The ball in for Marriott, chases it, and it's good defending to put it behind. Forrester concedes the corner. Bolton, who were claiming Marriott fouled the keeper as Baxter tried to stop it from going out, but I think Marriott's entitled to go and protect that ball to usher it out. But it was a good chasing by Marriott. He shouldn't really have had much of a chance, but forced a last-ditch challenge.
No, he's looked sharp, hasn't he, so far, Jack Marriott? Obviously his first start since that, really unfortunate injury that he suffered. So good to see him get thrown back in, and hopefully he can get back into that form he was in at the start of the season.
In swinging corner then from the right-hand side. O'Connor will take one player on the keeper as it's swept with height to the far post. Scar gets up early and he's headed it. Well, he's headed it out, has he? Oh, he's kept her in. No, he hasn't. He appealed first and then saw it was going out and thought, well, I know I've headed it really, so I better try and keep it in. If he hadn't appealed, he would have kept
it in, yeah. Well, we've tried the same corner that we've been done by twice, which is the one round the back, a block in the middle, try and get him free. Theirs have worked certainly better than ours. But what they have is a man either at the back post or near the back post that frees up if that ball goes over and can go and attack it. We don't have that. We just get blocked. And then from that, we've just got to deal with that second ball, and it's very, very difficult.
Cannon does well, feeding it down a line, and Fowles pressure forces Forrester to put the ball out for a throw into Wrexham about 20 yards out. Longman has the ball in his hands. Wrexham really have improved here, really picked her up. Referee is stopping the throw because there's a second ball on the pitch. And so now Longman can prepare to take it. Ref gives him the go-ahead. Thrown into the near post, just over foul. But back to Longman, who volleys it straight back in. Lee underneath this. A lovely takedown. And he turns looking for space, but he can't find it. By the corner flag now, Cannon offers him a little exchange, but Lee wants to carry on. He's battling away against Sheehan. And in the end, Sheehan gets a foot in. Wrexham with the free kick. Cannon keeps going. Prods it in the box. Well, the ref gives Wrexham the free kick, just as Cannon manages to latch onto it in the area and get a shot off. So, okay. Well, Wrexham can't complain. It's a free kick right in the corner of the area, I guess. Sheehan wasn't happy.
No, but it's well played by Elliot Lee, to be fair. He does well to win the foul in the end, because I sort of felt like at one point he was sort of going nowhere. So he does well to win it. But yeah, I just thought maybe Andy Cannon had quite a bit of space, didn't he, that just opened up because of them two Bolton players that got dragged over by Elliot Lee. But a real good position again. Tom O'Connor already in this game has shown his quality on these set pieces.
Yeah, it was good persistence, wasn't it? Cannon offering to take over, but he could easily have been offside when Lee released it. So I think he was wise not to use him.
He sort of got his head stuck between his knees, didn't he, when he was trying to dig it out for a little pass through to Cannon. Thought he was going to tombstone him. It was like, lift it.
So O'Connor with the free kick, promising position this. Everyone back in the box for Bolton. O'Connor sweeps a nice one in, but it's headed away by Forrest. The referee's in Evans' way, so he can't get the shot off. He keeps the ball and finds Longman, and then looks over his shoulder and gives the ref the benefit of his opinion. Longman beats his man, sweeps it in. Johnston heads it clear. De Bajejo brings it down deep in his own half, and Wrexham hassle, and the ball goes out for a throw-in. Level the edge of the Bolton area to Bolton.
Yeah, good defending by the referee. He takes up a great position on the edge of the box.
It's anticipation.
Picks up that second ball, yeah.
It wasn't your last game. It was in September, that match, at the start of the season.
It started the rot.
Get away. 2 own goals by Wrexham in that game. Mark Carrington
Told
as well. Yeah. As Wrexham knock it forwards, Fowles unlucky there, backpedaling, trying to play a little cute layoff, didn't work. Cannon tracks back well, wins the ball back. O'Connor now helping it into midfield. And, well, the chance Lee had a good look up, looked at Revan, decided not to play him in. Now Sheehan's pressuring him, gets a good tackle in as well. O'Connor feeds it long, Revan can't get to it. And it'll fall for Lolos. Awkward height, did well to nod it down to Matete. Right hand side, cutting in, feeds in Adebayo, who goes down on the edge of the box. Ref says no foul. O'Connor clears. Bolton have been feeling for a while they're not getting the benefit of the ref's decisions. And that would have been a free kick right on the edge of the box. And oh, the Bolton fans very unhappy. As Bolton move it around at the back, well, it's hard to tell at first glance looking at the replay. It certainly seemed, I'm not sure he should have been going in for it.
No, it did look a bit clumsy, but there wasn't too many complaints from the actual Bolton players, which is normally a bit of a giveaway, isn't it?
Good first touch by Toll, and he surges forwards, works it wide. Jones into the goalmouth, scarred as well at full strength for us behind, but shows how well Wrexham will come into it, that it feels like a shock to Bolton suddenly are coming at us. They really haven't for a while.
Right corner. Don't get blocked. Don't let your man run round the back and have a free header.
Well, let's see how it transpires. The centre-backs are sauntering in late. Lurking again around the penalty spot. Toll has managed to get some players between him. Well, I thought O'Connor kind of seems to have gone across now to pick somebody else up. Toll shoving Brunt around instead. Ball swept in, different one this time. Driven towards goal, headed away, crucially by Farl. Lawless with that typical long-legged, languid style, nailed the volley from the edge of the box. But Farl was standing in the goal mouth and headed it away. Here come Bolton again, though, energised, their best spell this since the first 10 minutes. Their fans energised as well.
Well, it was a great strike by Lolos, wasn't it? I think just seeing that replay of it again there quickly, it looked like it was just going to maybe nestle in that far corner.
Wrexham back off. Johnson's shot is deflected, and Okonkwo, just about stops it going for the corner. He stopped for a moment, don't know why. There was no chance of anyone else getting there, but he stopped and then chased it again and kept it in.
Well, great technique, wasn't it? Lolos keeping that down, getting his knee up above it and striking right through the middle of it, going in, like you say, just veering away from goal towards that far post. Mo Farl, brave. Get your head on it, don't dive out the way.
Wrexham knock it long as Bolton had just stepped up, and so it's a free header clear. Lovely take by Matete. He turns and controls in one movement and soldiers George Evans down the river. And now here again is Toll coming forwards. He's got an overlap in Jones, and Revan's done well there. Just blocked his path as he tried to run around the back of him. And as a result, it's Okonkwo's ball.
Yeah, and Tom O'Connor on the cover as well. Read the situation, little inside ball, can he get across? Seb Revan does his right, gets himself in between ball and man. And then lets Tom O'Connor and Okonkwo come and sweep up.
Far, lovely flick on. Marius works it wide. Longman on the right flank feeds it back to Cannon, bursting into the Bolton half. They've worked this quite nicely, but Farl then tries to be cute and has overhit it, and Lolos is breaking. Only had the Bejon ahead of him. He keeps going until in the end he's dispossessed by Evans, but Farl can't hand on to it again. Good pressure by Farl, wins it back from Sheehan, and that's a clever layoff. Cannon under pressure, runs into trouble, goes down. Ref's not interested in the foul on that occasion, and now as the game suddenly gets stretched, Forrester plays a great ball round the back of the defence, but Dacres Cogley can't control it properly, goes behind for the goal kick. That game really opened up then. You felt somebody was going to get in at one end or the other.
Well, that was weird, that, wasn't it? Because that just kept getting caught tight, maybe slide Jack Marriott through by Cannon, taken off him. Just before that, another through ball just gets taken off the toe. Then I think if that's on the other side, I think he's able to take it with his preferred right foot. Dacres Cogley playing on the left today, rather probably prefer on the right-hand side. He'd take it with his left on that side, but he takes it with his right and toes it out.
Yeah, Wrexham relieved by that. Start with the short goal kick. Andy Cannon in his own half, prods it wide, overdoes it. Scar can't get to that. It's a throw-in, level the edge of the area. Left-hand side. Dacres Cogley will take. Wrexham leave Marius up the pitch. Fowle just watching Johnston, the centre-back, who's lurking further back down the line. Lolos offers. Matete too, but it's thrown over both of them. Thomason nods it down. Cannon puts pressure on, but Johnston joins in now, level the edge of the area. Bolton worked an angle to play something in the box. No, because Matete has caught out. Lovely work by Lee to anticipate. O'Connor feeds it over the top, looking for the pace of Revan, but it's too straight, and as a result, Toll can deal with that comfortably.
Yeah, he just had to go a bit wider there, didn't he, O'Connor? It just made it far too easy for Toll at the back, just right into his path.
So it's Bolton again, building from the back, lifting it over the top. That's a nice idea for Dacres Cogley. He can't again quite get there and do anything with it. Managed to stop going for the goal kick, but could only squirt it along the line. So Okonkwo bowls the ball straight out, and now here's Wrexham. Lee's made a great run and Brunt hasn't seen him. There was a chance maybe there. Bolton stepped up, but the left side there of the defence were a little deeper than the right, and Lee ran into that gap. Brunt's played to the other side.
The passage of play before that for Bolton, that's our problem in this first half. Brunt now is going right in with Lolos, which means there's a big hole behind him. So Longman, who would normally go, oh, he's running inside onto my centre-half, centre-half's come out of that pocket, so he's got to now track that run, which he probably doesn't really want to do being a winger. He wants to be up the other end crossing balls in. And so this is where you either just swap and get Longman up or tuck Longman in a little bit maybe, I don't know.
Bolton at the back, moving it around. Yeah, that's the thing with Longman as well, isn't it? That he does look more of a winger than Barnett, if you will. He looks more of an all-round wing-back. He's made a great start going forwards for Wrexham. As now for Bolton, it's Toll. That's a good ball to edge the area, and important for Wrexham that Brunt won that, because into that troublesome area once more run Lolos. Bolton claim it back. Dacres Cogley put under pressure. Longman gets a good foot in. He's unlucky. Referee's given the free kick. Ironic cheers from the Bolton fans.
Well, it was an important header there by Brunt because they got a free man running right down the middle of the pitch. If he hadn't managed to get it, I think that they were in.
They'd opened us up, hadn't they? Yeah. Now, did he just...
Is that a yellow for Cannon?
I wasn't sure who it was, to be honest. I've just come back on the replay to see if it shows. Yeah, Cannon. So 2 yellows, both for dissent. Got measure of this ref now, haven't we? Bolton driving through the middle. Thomason evades Marriott well. Still going, helps it on to Matete. Wrexham have managed to make a crowd around the edge of the D. And so Matete will have to go wide. Jones up against Revan, feeds a nice ball down the right. Again, Toll, the centre-back, joining in. And the foul's gone to Toll this time. And I'm not so convinced of that. He collided with Fowle. It was clumsy from Fowle, who then went down very dramatically, which didn't help his cause, I don't think. But I don't know if Jones just ran into him, to be fair.
Well, fair play to Fowle for tracking his man. But I do think he's then pulled him. He's got a little Megs in through him. He's got a little bit of a grip on him.
So Wrexham have got a free kick to defend. A short corner, about 10 yards in from the corner flag. And Bolton have responded well to that rough patch in the middle of the half there, closing it the stronger side. Away swinger then, but Sheehan will deliver. He's waiting for the go-ahead from the ref. And yeah, you could tell the ref was just... I sometimes feel referees are waiting for something to happen in the box rather than just letting the players take the free kick. So he has a little word. Now Sheehan gets the go-ahead, signals, chips it in nicely, headed towards goal, cleared off the line. It's Fowle, I think, who got the final touch. The ball looked to be whistling in. Revan clears for a throw-in. Wow.
Has that hit his own man?
Oh, maybe so.
I don't know, it looked... There were a lot of bodies going across it. They get first contact. Again, real quality from Sheehan.
Well, it's a hell of a let-off. It looked like it was going in, hit somebody, and ricocheted away, and Wrexham survive. The throw-in taken, and the Biagio knocks it back to the right flank. Gethin Jones taking on his man. Inside to Matete. Wrexham sticking to the task. Revan tight to him, forcing the player back to the halfway line. Johnston feeding to the edge of the box. Albieza done well, finds Sheehan, beats his man, drills it. Great save by Okonkwo. Lolos has it left side, drills it in. Good header away by Scar. Great work that by Okonkwo, though it looked past him. And now Wrexham are scrapping to try and stop the corner coming in. Longman in the end puts it behind for a corner. Good stop that by Okonkwo.
Yeah, really good pressure towards the end of this half from Bolton. It's brilliant play by Josh Sheehan again. Just moves that ball, gives himself a little bit of extra space, but great save, Arthur.
Ball comes to the far post. Okonkwo jumps. I think he left that, did he? Well, corner given. He's not complaining. 1 added minute. And Wrexham having to dig in. Bolton committing the extra man forwards by putting Baxter on in the centre circle, the goalkeeper.
Yes, a really strong hand from Okonkwo down to his right. Pushes it out, away from goal. Then I'd rather him come and catch the next one. Sort of could have got his hands on it.
Looked like he was pulling away like he wasn't going to play it, but away swingers at the near post, goes across to face a goal. A Bolton player shouts for handball. None of his teammates join him. And Wrexham hack it away for a throw in the halfway line, and we'll hope that will be that for the half. 20 seconds of the added minute left, and it's all got a bit scary.
It's gone quickly, that first half. It feels like it's gone. Bolton certainly shading the first 15 minutes, us taking the middle bit of the game, 20 minutes, and then Bolton coming on strong at this last 5 minutes.
Sort of game that feels like there should have been a goal in it, but it's still 0-0. Throw over the top of Wrexham's defence, volley clear, and that's half time. Wrexham 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. Woof. Well, that was fast-paced and interesting. Andy and Mia are going down now to the side of the pitch. You can listen to their half-time analysis, of course, on Wrexham's YouTube channel. I'll look to get into a bit of the old Ask Wrexham questions, although I've got to tell you that the connection's a little erratic at the moment up here. So let's have a little look at it. The Bolton fans continue to give grief to the referee. And yeah, he walks off to their boos. Let's have a look what we got on Ask Wrexham. Like I say, sorry that I haven't had a chance to get to them during the game, but we can work through now, and I've got an Ask Wrexham podcast in the can already for tomorrow. So that'll come out tomorrow after we finish putting all the stuff from this match to bed. Wrexham then drawing 0-0 in this game as Wembley gets closer. On Ask Wrexham, Cryptic says Arthur's keeping us in it. Jarvis hanging on in there, lads. Yeah, absolutely. Jarvis says it's Arthur's best save in ages. So Wrexham, as Ben Parker, interesting. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Saying, find all that diving for the whistle is paying off for the Bolton players. They got a couple of decisions at the end. It was quite interesting because Wrexham, well, it's a bit Wrexham, what am I saying? I was reading the other day, there's an academic paper on the effect on referees of crowds turning against them, and it basically seemed to find that referees don't tend to favour home teams. They seem to be more likely, they seem to be likely to be wound up by abuse from crowds and show that they're not biased by turning against the loud ones, if you see. You know, they're not being influenced by it. So, yeah. It's a strange one, but yeah. Turns out the referees are ornery critters after all. So a lot of praise for Longman here. Ben Parker saying what a good signing he was. Really tasty deliveries in his first few games. As does Beefy QP Wrexham. Saying he just needs to settle in. Some great play up to now. And Sharon saying, I love Longman and Barnett's tippy-tap footwork. Well, of course, Longman more often has played on the left-hand side, hasn't he? For Hull, certainly. Which obviously opens up the possibility of the Barnett and Longman both starting a game and us trying to tippy-tap at both sides. Promising notion. So let's have a little look at... Oh, yes, I've got to say as well that I did say beforehand in the call to action for Ask Wrexham about naming your favourite superb owl after, Philadelphia Eagles' success. We had a couple of good calls on that. Sherry from the States, for me, looked like the obvious option. She went for that one in Jason and the Argonauts. But there were other options. I'll have a little look through for some more. Everyone likes thinking about superb owls, don't they? Right, what else have we got here? Oops. Yes, Bubo. That's it. The clockwork replica of Athena's beloved magical owl from, beg your pardon, Clash of the Titans, not Jason and the Argonauts. What was I thinking? But yeah, that is probably, I would agree, the most superb owl. I'm starting to get a bit more reception now. Kurt Bennett says, he's speaking in response to something. Yeah, he's saying that Revan looks great in pre-season and early season. We know he's got talent, he needs more opportunities. I think that's a fair point. He's got very little continuity, has he really? To be fair, we've got terrific strength and depth at wing-back, and Longman just adds to that, doesn't he? And Jacob Mendy's another player who's not getting continuity. Kurt Bennett says he likes Revan, and he's not at all biased because his favourite Star Wars video game character is named Revan. Not one bit. Ruby Slippers replies, "May the Force be with him." Touché. Nicely done. The Yarb asks, so is that now 6 yellows for Cannon? Well, I'll have a look, but yellow, this has got a different disciplinary system to the league games. So these yellows don't count towards the league. Like I said, Thomason in midfield for Bolton is suspended in the league, but is able to play in this game. So Cannon is, let's see how many yellows he's on in the season. I make it, yes, that is his 6th. And also, hey, do you want a useless fact? The 50th of his career. I'm sticking that in Wrexham Anorak. I'm banging that in right now, just so I remember it. But yeah, his 6th yellow of the season, but doesn't really matter because yellow cards are wiped out after this stage. I say that, maybe I should double check whether he's had one already in this competition. That's the point. But certainly his 50th career yellow cards are a beautiful achievement, and in Valentine's Day week as well. Gosh. Yeah, that's true. Let's have a little look. Has he been booked in one of these games, Cannon? In which case, were we to win this, he would be out of the semi-final. Just get my spreadsheet up. Double check my facts. I haven't said that. I mean, Cannon certainly played at Port Vale, didn't he? And he was not booked in that game. So that's a good sign. Let's have a look at the earlier matches. Now, Cannon actually has sworn off bookings quite a lot. His last booking was the Stockport game. So he's managed to kick the habit. And yeah, he was injured for the Salford match. Wasn't selected for the Wolves game or the Port Vale group game. And came on as an early sub, but didn't get booked in the Crew game. So he doesn't get any suspension for this. So the only possible problem he could have would be if he gets a second yellow in this game. Like I said, yellow cards would be scrubbed after half time, after the quarterfinals. Let's have a look elsewhere on Ask Wrexham. And Jarvis says, come on, let's not waste these Revan runs with poor passes to him when he's going full gas. Yeah, he surged forward, didn't he? And Brunt didn't spot him, or if he did spot him, didn't get the ball anywhere near him. Revan's making some decent little runs. High Desert Dragon asking, I don't understand why Revan keeps playing so far back. Anyone know? Well, I think the issue, an issue for us is just that if he's pushed backwards by the Bolton right-sided wing-back Jones, who's trying to get up the pitch, Revan's got to cover him. So that's part of it. I guess the other part of it is that Revan has got explosive pace, so it may well be a good idea for him to go charging forwards and sort of run in from deeper rather than be up there at the start, because he's got the pace to get in behind him. Wait for it, everyone. It's Neil Williams. He's joined me. Hello, Neil. How are you doing?
How are you doing, Mark? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Nice one. There's some guys behind us getting themselves onto the camera, which we're using. Sadly, he'll probably never see the light of day, guys, but nonetheless, they've done it. Thoughts on this game, Neil?
Bolton have been very good, haven't they?
Yeah, although in the middle of the half, I thought we had a good spell, didn't we?
We had a 10-minute spell in the middle where we were a lot better, but they're so unlucky. I mean, Conquo's made a couple of superb saves. One up in the top left-hand corner, and then right down at the bottom right-hand corner. So, we'll see what happens in the second half. But Bolton have been a better team by a country mile, I'm afraid, Mark.
Oh, country mile? Maybe I reckon I don't know, an urban mile, possibly. An urban mile.
We'll go for an urban mile.
But so we've, Marius looks sharp and eager, doesn't he? It's good to see that.
He does. It's just our final ball again is it's not reaching our players, or it's too hard or whatever. So I mean, this is a team who hasn't really played together, have they, Mark? So they're finding the positions, and Revan's done well down the wing here as well, and Farl's had a good game. He's won a lot of headers. But do you think we're being a bit too defensive? And
not deliberately. I think Bolton when Bolton have had their good spells, they control possession well, don't they? And it's difficult for us to get forwards.
Oh, gosh, I mean, when you count the number of corners they've had, compared to the one that we've had, I mean, you can see where the possession's been majority in our half of the pitch, and I'm sure Mr. Parkins will be having a nice word with the boys out there at half time.
You're not wrong. Longman has been threatening, I thought, down the right-hand side. He has been getting balls into the box. Maybe hope that he'll be able to produce something.
You'd like to think so. He's getting, as you say, he's done great wonders down the wing there and getting balls in the box. But it's just unfortunate nobody getting on the end of those balls. But we'll see what we're playing to our favourite end in the second half. Although it's only half full, the stand behind the goal. So the Stoke Cold Brew stand. The good thing about this game is still only 0-0.
True. But don't worry, Neil. We're all right. We got it in hand. It's like you say, only the bottom part of the Stoke Cold Brew stand is open, and that's only the other day. It's terrific to have a crowd like this for the Vertu Trophy. So it's a sort of half-calf Stoke Cold Brew end in the second half, isn't it? But nonetheless, we do seem to go well kick in that direction.
Oh, we always enjoy kicking in that direction, don't we? When you think of what the crowd was last Tuesday at Port Vale, which is like 1,600, and I should imagine there's 4 times that many here. I mean, Bolton have sold their full allocation, and they've been loud. They've been very noisy, and that's a shame, because the Wrexham fans haven't had a lot to cheer about, and the stand where the Wrexham fans normally are singing is empty. So the Wrexham singing is a little bit fragmented, and I think the fans need to get behind the team and encourage them a bit more and get them up the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. But who knows? Maybe pushing on in the second half might just inspire them with that. Like I said, the half-calf end for now. High Desert Dragon asked, does anyone know if Bolton's using a rotated or full force team? 50-50, I would say. They've got a few injuries. They've also, ironically, brought in 3 players in January, all of whom are cup-tied because they've already played in this competition. They all started on Saturday. And they've also, what was the other? Oh, yeah, Schön, their left-back who played in the European Championships, is suspended because he's managed to get 2 yellow cards in this competition, which is is going some if you're rotating your team. So it's a pretty strong side they put out.
Oh, they have.
I think it shows that, doesn't it? Really?
Oh, definitely so. When you, predominantly this is our second string team out there on the pitch, apart from, Lee and maybe Cannon. The rest have not been in the first team at all. And I'm wondering whether Parky will make any changes at half time. I don't know.
He's got some good options on the bench, hasn't he?
Yeah, I see Clewe's gone in early, now Barnett's gone in early. I don't know whether that's anything to go by, but we'll have to wait and see.
That's interesting, yeah. The rest have stayed out, haven't they?
Yeah. I think the two up front are doing well, Paul and Marriott are doing well up front. It's just that ball to get to them is not there at the moment, and Bolton are very good at closing us down.
Yeah, absolutely so. Janie Lightning, thinking of Bolton, how hard is it for players to adjust to a new manager's style of play formation when there's mid-season turnover? It's a great question, but sadly, like with so many great questions, the answer really is it depends. Sometimes it can be a real problem, sometimes it can be a real boost.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Mark. And we've got the second half in front of us, and hopefully it'll be good half. And this time, 2 weeks' time, we could be back at the racecourse, hopefully against Peterborough United in the semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely so. Let's hope so. The team's coming back out now. Birmingham 3-0 up at half-time, I'm seeing off the scoreboard against Cambridge. Yeah, I think maybe we need to
Late Norrin 3-0 up as well.
Wow. I don't think we need to worry too much about Birmingham. I think it's that second spot we're aiming for, isn't it? Let's be honest. Neil, always good to have you join us. Thank you very much.
All right, Mark.
Enjoy the second half.
I will do.
So the teams are out and about to get going. Yeah, picking up Janie Lightning's point, how hard is it to adapt? Sometimes it's a great relief to have a new manager and players relish it. Sometimes players who aren't getting chances get chances, and you can breathe new life into a squad like that. I would argue that I think Bolton have been quite smart. I think Schumacher plays a fairly similar style of play in a way to Ian Evans' predecessor. They're looking to keep the ball on the floor, move the ball around. So, maybe it's not so much of a shock to the system as from the restart, the ball goes straight through to Okonkwo, and he clips it long in the air. Johnston heads it away as Farl jumps too soon. Cannon gets ahead to it, throw in. Nice little bit of juggling by Phil Parkson. He's still got it, and the ball was off. Turns Scar, and he handles it pretty well. Heading it back to Okonkwo. Made a bit of a drama of the header back, which looked pretty routine, but keeps him alert. Okonkwo then drives it long, looking again for Farl against Johnston. Farl this time times his jump better, heads it inside, but Marius had gone for a more light touch and didn't anticipate lead as well to get a foot in under pressure from Mateta, but it's knocked long straight through to Okonkwo again. Scrappy start of the half. Essentially so far it's been Okonkwo knocks it long, Bolton win it, hits it straight back to him. Here he goes long again. Again, Farl against Johnston, and Farl really timed that beautifully, and Marriott did read it this time. Good interception by Forrester, but Wrexham got the ball down in midfield. First team to do so in this half. Lee, Brunt wants him to square it. Instead it's Evans on the halfway line. Easing it down the line. O'Connor feeding it into the edge of the area. Looking for Marius, who flicks it on. Longman hadn't followed it in. Farl was deeper already. Brunston well to step up and win it in midfield, but it's hit over the top. Scar intercepts importantly, and the ball's held up by Longman. Under pressure, Dacres Cogley forces him back to his own half till the only option is the back pass, which he executes well. Bolton fans still making tremendous noise. Here's Scar drilling it long. Farl now. Again, edge of the area, tries to bring it down, but robust defending by Toll, and Bolton now tried to pass their way through midfield. Thompson There's another of those little 360-degree turns, buys himself a little bit of time, gives time for Jones to get forward on the overlap. Good ball to him by Thomason. Good burst by Jones, beats Revan. Great ball in, and a crucial challenge in the 6-yard box by Brunt to get there ahead of Lolos. He sort of almost ended up landing on the ball as it rolling it back to Okonkwo. But
well, real pace by Jones out on that right-hand side. Good race with Revan. Takes a really good touch, and he puts a great ball in, and he looks second best. Brunt thought he was behind him, but to be fair, he makes up a bit of ground and gets a great block in. Like you say, sits on the ball but blocks the ball, and Okonkwo is able to pick it up.
Evans chips it forward inaccurately, but he wins it when it comes back into midfield. But Cannon then got a nice little knockdown by Marius, but played the return pass far too quickly, and as a result Bolton have got it at the back. Ball's fed into Thomason deep in his own half. Sheehan is not available, so he helps it to the right. And Toll rolls it down the flank. Matete, though, dispossessed by a firm challenge from O'Connor, and Revan brings it forwards. Marius, oh, it's an accurate pass looking for Evans. He's picked out Adebayo, who's running down the right-hand side rather into a cul-de-sac. Can he knock the ball off O'Connor? He can. Throw in 10 yards out to Bolton.
Well, Marriott done ever so well, and then giving it straight back. Got a bit caught in between two minds whether to go to Evans or Lee. Rolls it in between and puts them on the attack. Adebayo does brilliantly well because he's got 3 men round him, and he keeps it. He gets something for his team.
Throw in taken. Square towards the edge of the area. Wrexham pressure the ball. Thomason pops it backwards. It's helped square to Johnston, who works it on in the half spaces. Lolos, corner of the box, left-hand side, feeds it in. Thomason keeps it moving left to right. It's helped over to the right flank, and now Revan is isolated as the ball's fed into the box by Jones. Put in by O'Connor. Throw again, level the edge of the area. Good pressure from Bolton. Sheehan makes him run, creates a little bit of space on the edge of the box. Adebayo goes into that gap and receives it. O'Connor is touched tight and managed to get a touch onto it, and it's cleared. Marriott now, deep in his own half, just has a heavy touch. A rebound, drops for Farl, who brings it down daintily. That's great footwork by Farl. Gets a little bit carried away, but then still pulls off a little unnecessary drag back. Did well to hold on to that.
Yeah, and that's what he needs to do. He's had a couple in that first half where he just got wrong, but that one does really well.
Evans clipping over the top. No one's really making that run though. It's cleared. Brunt lunges in hard on Lolos. Referee, well, he's not giving it. I thought.
Yeah, he has given it.
I think he did give it. Yeah.
Just didn't blow his whistle very loud.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I thought, did I hear something or not? And then everyone just carried on. But it was a free kick in the end. And Bolton have it on the right. It's overhit though by Toll, and Wrexham have won it back. Here's Evans again, helping it onto Brunt. Longman has burst down the right. Wrexham will use the fact that he and Revan are high to take advantage of the space they've created behind him and build from deep. Lee down the line to Revan in the end. Revan wins the throw on the halfway line, left-hand side. He's going to leave it for O'Connor. Ken Priest asks, there's no draws in the cup ties. Yes, that's right. This will go to penalties if necessary. Here's Cannon helping it wide. Longman right-hand side. A chance to have a go at Dakers Cogley, who fouls him. Well, I thought he fouled him. Nothing given. And it's a good early diagonal that by Thomason. He's picked out Adebayo again. He's isolated. We've just seen him do well in this position. Scar forces him to the corner flag. Can Adebayo again knock it off this man? He's got support in Jones, and he does knock it off his man. Throw by the corner flag.
He's really strong, isn't he? Holds off Dan Scar. Dan Scar putting loads of pressure on him. Manages to just tow it out.
Here now, Matete makes use of a clever run by Sheehan to find a bit of space. Works it across. Johnston helps it on. There's a chance here for Dakers Cogley to deliver, but Evans holds his possession around the penalty spot and launches it clear. Throw in. Taken quickly by Bolton. Marriott looks to put pressure on, but Harrison bypasses him. Matete now in the middle of the pitch, takes on O'Connor, who stepped up to meet him. Squares it. O'Connor just about stopped him from getting past him. Wrexham sending subs out to warm up. Ball plays edge area inaccurately. O'Connor finds Lee, who clips a good ball over the defender to find Longman on the right. Cannon demands the pass. He gets it in his path. Now, two strikers attacking the box. Cannon rifles in the cross. Well dealt with on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it falls to Thomason on the edge of the area, and of course he's the perfect player for it to fall to. He tidies things up rather neatly, and the ball is played forwards again to Matete, and Bolton get out of trouble.
Yeah, I think it was a difficult one for Cannon really to get a good hold of. He's going at pace. Mo Farrell made a good run on that back post, and Jack Marriott had come on the inside, and I think he just tries to get a bit of power on it, doesn't he, and just try and put it in the right area, but just sadly no one in that space.
Yeah, Marius was screaming for it, but it didn't look like a simple pass to be able to play. As it happened, I mean, Forrester did well to keep his balance and get that ball to Thomason. And then Thomason, the coolest customer in the place, did what he does. Here's Farl on the left now, working it back into midfield to Revan. Wrexham working the ball around the halfway line. Just looking for options. Longman threatened to make a little run inside Dacres Cogley, doesn't play it. The fans in the Macron stand getting a bit impatient. Don't think there's any need to, as long as Wrexham are moving this around with purpose. Revan looking to get a turn in midfield, lays it back. Evans now thinks it's time to switch and flicks it across the Brunt. Wrexham will move it around once more. Now Scar with the diagonal. Revan on the edge of the area, doesn't challenge, headed away comfortably by Jones, but Wrexham are now getting a bit of control of possession here. Bolton in their own half, in their mid-block, as Evans looks for the killer ball for Longman, well defended by Dacres Cogley, but Farl, I was going to say, brings down the edge of the area. He again tries to do the spectacular turn and bring it down, and misses the ball. But Wrexham get it back. At least we've got them penned in now.
I thought he could have chested it down and kept it on the edge of the box for us.
Yeah, I mean, if it had come off, we'd all be saying he's the next Dennis Bergkamp. But he didn't prove on that occasion that he is the next Dennis Bergkamp. Brunt gets a good foot in to stop Lolos now. Elliot Lee on the halfway line is weighing up his options. He lets Revan take over left-hand side. Chance to have a go at Jones and get revenge for what Jones did to him 5 minutes ago. He's forcing him back, and then lets Lee take over 25 yards out. O'Connor's in space. Lee finds him. O'Connor. Wrexham fans feeling Wrexham are a bit slow with the use of the ball, but Marriott lays off nicely. O'Connor in the box, big block that as he drove the ball into the goal mouth. Yeah, Lee accelerated the move. That's what the fans who are impatient aren't realising. They're slow until they can put some acceleration into the passing.
Well, it was Tom O'Connor that made like the third man running, and he's pulled back. His shirt's being pulled. How the ref's not seen that right in front of his eyes? It's a free kick.
It looked like he'd given advantage, but I'm like Andy says, I'm not sure why he hasn't brought it back, because there was none, was there? If we're being honest.
Yeah. Bolton are getting changes ready as they work the ball around again at the back. Johnston, 11 minutes gone in the second half. Dacres Cogley flicks it on. Lolos won't be able to keep that goal kick. And now Bolton will make their changes.
The two big hitters.
Yep.
McAtee and Collins.
So Aaron Collins, who was declared unfit to play at the weekend and then declared fit to play yesterday, is going to come on for Matete. And John McAtee, who of course is such a talented player, brother of the other McAtee. They're coming on. He's coming on for Lolos, so that'll be like for like.
I think that's just two like for like. Just behind the main striker. They'll play the same positions, I think.
Yeah, we talked about Wrexham's quality coming off the bench possibly in the second half at half time, but that's
not bad, is it?
That's not too bad for a double substitution in this competition for Bolton. Two real players of real quality. Obviously, John McAtee always takes me back to that day here at Grimsby in that playoff semi-final, sadly, after some performance that day, wasn't it, from that man?
You had to mention the playoff. yeah, he was kind of tasty, wasn't he? And it was widely reported, whether it's true or not, that we were keen on bringing him in this summer. So at the back, Bolton moved the ball around. Here is Collins clipping the ball around the corner blind, and O'Connor reads that easily. And now he goes surging through the middle. Lee has got space on the left. He receives it, driving at the box, foul. He was the target of the pass, but it wasn't maybe the best option, and is intercepted easily by Toll again. Adebayejo holds her up superbly and picks out McAtee, breaking down the right. No one's kept up with him, but he's holding her up, plays it in, and it's an unorthodox but effective clearance by Scar. Back heeling the ball as it's behind him to Longman. Revving up to Marriott. Not much Marriott could do with that. Tried to flicker onto foul. Couldn't manage to get contact. And Bolton now building from the halfway line. It's intriguing, this. We approach the hour. Peterborough at home is the reward for the winning team. Bolton with a throw in the Wrexham half, right hand side. Last time Wrexham played Bolton, apart from this season in the league, was in this competition back in 1988, when Phil Neal was under pressure to get sacked as Bolton's manager. That's how long ago it was. Here's Scar now on the edge of the area, lofting it long, too much on that foul. Won't be able to reach that throw in the Bolton half. And Parkinson is calling players in.
Whole shebang, I think.
It looks like, yeah. Three of them sprinting back. Rathbone, Rodriguez, Smith and Barnett joined him as well. And poor Max is left warming up on his own by the corner flag. Some Bolton subs are shown sympathy and come across to him. The fans behind us like the sight of those first teamers and new signings coming into to get stripped off. As now in the halfway line, Lee lays the ball off, but he and Evans rather leave it for each other, and now Collins has a chance to play a through ball, which he gets wrong. Straight through to Okonkwo. Mendy sent out to keep Max Cleworth company, warming up by the corner flag. Okonkwo, right-footed, feeds it over the top. Marius, well to run across the front and get ahead to it. He's given offside. I thought Marius was the one who was more offside than them, but anyway, the header didn't go to a teammate, so it's taken short. Rathbone wins the race to get ready on the sides of the pitch first amongst these subs. Bolton up a throw in 30 yards out. Rodriguez and Barnett and Smith, the four of them, it's going to be a quadruple substitution.
Well, I think we need to do it, to be honest. Haven't seen any real moments of quality yet, just as a chance.
Here's foul now, running at the last defender. Great first touch, driving on into the box. Tremendous tackle that by Toll. Some of the fans shouting for a penalty. It looked like a tremendous tackle to me, I've got to say. And now can Bolton break? No, Sheehan gets his pass wrong, and Revan intercepts well and gets an important follow-up tackle on McAtee. But he's going to come off in a second, but Fal Nearly has a chance to write his name in lights as Okonkwo gets his pass wrong. Will Wrexham look to take their substitutions? Well, he can't. Quick throw taken, and it's a nice piece of play by Thomason to play in Dacres Cogley. Ball into the edge of the area. Fal tracking back, stops Johnston getting it into the box. Good pressure by Cannon as well. Ball picked up and fed to the right-hand side by Toll, who gets it back 35 yards out. Feeds it in between the lines. Collins lines up a shot, well blocked. Scar stepped out and unfussily got a foot to it. And a hacked clearance by Fal. Nearly finds Marius on the halfway line. But here's Johnston. Good spell this by Bolton after that dramatic burst by Fal. It's Toll helping it on to the right. Clipped ball over the top. Adebayejo is in on goal, flags up. And Okonkwo saved it anyway. So here we are. Here come the changes. So it's going to be Marriott coming off. Sam Smith making his home debut. Elliot Lee will come off for Ollie Rathbone. Now, Are we going to go 3 at the back, I wonder? Longman off for Barnett. And what's the next change? This is the one that will tell us. Rodriguez replaces Foul. Okay, maybe it wasn't quite so surprising after all. I didn't think we would, but Foul was standing there as if he thought he was staying on.
Well, maybe if he took that last chance, he might have been. But to be fair, it was really good defending by Toll in the end. I just thought, could Foul maybe just get a bit of a heavier touch on it? That challenge looked like it was always coming in, and almost play for that penalty. But he just can't quite get on that ball with that pace, can he? But it was real good defending by Toll in the end.
So Rodriguez and Smith making their home debuts up front as Wrexham work to keep the ball. Rathbone under pressure, has won a throw-in as he goes against him. Oh, remember the good old days at Bolton where Rathbone played off the striker? I miss those days. It'll be Jones taking the throw, short. McAtee works it backwards, and in the end it goes through to Baxter, the keeper, who's being hurried by Smith. The crowd in today's game, 7,591, with 1,269 travelling south from Bolton. Have a quick look to see if that is the record in this competition. It's close. It was definitely a 7,000 last time.
It's interesting because we've seen this, and the crowd proves it, that it's not really of full interest. It hasn't really captured our imagination to get us to the final. But the Bolton fans, would we have taken 1,200, 1,500 to away fans and given the same oomph that they've given their team? Our home crowd it's not been the same as a home game in the league for me.
Yeah, true enough. It isn't quite the record, by the way, because the crowds against Newcastle United's under-21s was nearly 8,000, as here's Rathbone surging forwards. Revan now clips it into the box on the stretch. It's cleared. Importantly, O'Connor tries a long ranger, and it's on target, but too straight. It was a long way out, but it was a good strike. Fair play to him.
Yeah, it set up for him really nicely, didn't it? And he's got that quality where he can sort of pull them off, and he does catch it really well. Just not quite going to cause Baxter too many problems.
Scar, good purposeful drive forwards, plays Barnett in, right-hand side, 35 yards out. Cannon cuts inside. Smith made a little run for him. Cannon goes back to the halfway line. And Wrexham move the ball around again. Scar drives it long on the diagonal for Barnett. That's a great ball. Barnett brings it down. Dacres Cogley as well to get a throw in. About 10 yards out. Slightly more direct feel about the team now, and you've got strikers who can receive direct service. Ball thrown back to Brunt. Scar now. O'Connor wants it. Scar instead goes back down the right flank. Brunt feeds in the hole. Nice idea. Rodriguez dinks it, and the backspin on it allows Smith to keep it in and hook it backwards. Cannon gets a foot in on Sheehan, and then nearly picks out Rodriguez as he challenges Sheehan. But again, Wrexham are penning Bolton in. The clearance won by Scar, who pings it to the left. He's suddenly become Franz Beckenbauer. Wow, he's just pinging balls around from the halfway line. Revan, back to Evans. He might have a go, drills it with power, puts it wide, but we know he's got a powerful shot on him, even if he hasn't scored for Wrexham yet. But the pressure ends, but since the substitution, Wrexham been on top.
Optimistic, I'd give it for that. Evans as a shot from there, but yeah, why not? But first and foremost, ball played into Rodriguez, little flick just around the corner. Leave it in over the top of them and let one of our strikers go and run for it, which we do. We get Cannon going past the striker, we get Smith on it. He's going to give it a chase. And you can see already a nice little relationship forming between those two.
The Scar again wins a header. It's played over the top of Wrexham's defence, though, and Adebayo will beat him to it. Good first touch by Adebayo, allows him to turn out and play the ball in, and a long-range shot hits the side netting. The Bolton fans thought the net was rippling from the inside. It was a hell of a good strike, though, wasn't it? And I think Okonkwo had it covered, but it was a clean hit of the ball. And Dacres Cogley has got booked for
taking the ball away.
Ah, right. Well, that's a daft yellow to pick up. I mean,
it's been a few today.
Yeah.
I don't think he's given a yellow for a tackle, has he yet? Or
no.
Nothing. It's just been Proper rubbish.
Yeah, exactly so. That's exactly it. Long ball forwards. Smith can't quite get it in the air. Evans wins the second ball. Gethin Jones is there, but Revan gets a foot in and is hassling him here. Rathbone comes in to help out. Throwing goes Bolton's way. And it'll be taken by Jones. Wrexham 0, Bolton 0. 68-minute played. But it's been a decent quality game. McAtee loses the ball on the flank and Cannon pops it backwards again to Brunt. It's Evans in the centre circle looking over his shoulder. Smith made a run, a little frustrated, doesn't come in for him.
Well, he played one when Brunt rolled it in a couple of minutes ago. He just flicked it round the corner and no striker was going for it. Smith already read it. Already read the ball coming in that he's going to do it again, but he didn't play it this time.
Rodriguez lost the ball to Sheehan and won it back tremendously well. Now Wrexham coming forward. Rathbone's first touch isn't the best. And the ball goes back to O'Connor. Maybe coincidence, but I can't help noticing that these fresh legs and high quality fresh legs have really hassled Sheehan a few times. He and Thomason have just been purring through the match. And now all of a sudden they're getting hurried, getting harried. Rathbone digs in a ball early looking for Smith, puts too much on it. Dacres Cogley knocks it back to his keeper. Baxter, the ball to his feet, has got two short options but decides not to use them in the end, and he does. He squares it ultimately. And now he's moving the ball around with his feet. Wrexham decide to press and Bolton played away out very nicely indeed. Ball chipped over the top. Brought down well by Adebayo. Referee doesn't give a foul against Scar from behind, and Rathbone does really well to retrieve it. And then gives it away, but luckily for Wrexham, McAtee couldn't quite control it. And Wrexham have it again. I'll say 2-2, the last of the experienced Bolton subs is ready. But here's Cannon driving through the middle on his right foot, hits the shot. Yes! Andy Cannon with an absolute screamer. The keeper didn't move. Didn't take a little nick on the way through to deceive him. But Wrexham have got that lead in this cup tie. The stand's only half full, but the decaf Stone Cold Brew coffee stand is on its feet for Andy Cannon.
Well, it's great footwork, isn't it? Just turn outside of Josh Sheehan, sends him the absolute other way, and then Nathan Baxter is just stuck to the floor. I think he thinks he's got it covered. He absolutely doesn't, because what a strike for Andy Cannon. Just nestles in that far corner, off the post. 1-0 Wrexham.
Well, what a brilliant pass by George Evans. He breaks the lines for the first time really with a really positive through pass into Andy Cannon's feet. Takes out 3 of 4 of the Bolton centre midfielders, and then he's onto the back four. They've got to do something, and what he does do, Rodriguez would be hammering in if he didn't end up scoring, because the slide ball through to him was on. He chops back onto his preferred right foot and he doesn't blast it, he just curls it in that far corner, in off the post. A really nice finish to 1-0.
What a hit, beautiful hit. Say Baxter didn't move, which made me wonder if it had taken a nick. He's just beaten by the quality of it.
I just think he set it out, so wide that he thinks that it's going wide, and no, he's just brought it back in with a lovely shape to it.
Exactly so. Is that unlucky for Smith, who muscles his man off the ball. Foul given. Yeah, he, like you say, sets it outside the post. Baxter thinks, that's okay then. No, it wasn't. Afraid not. So, Wrexham fans now inevitably taunting Bolton's fans with a chorus of "Sing When You're Winning." Ball over the top. Scar has won all those balls. Heads it out of play. Throw in for Bolton. 25 yards out. Right hand side. It's Jones to take. And puts it down for McAtee. But then Jones's touch is heavy with the reverse ball, and Revan smashes it deep into the Bolton half. It's picked up by Forrester, rolls it into the centre circle, gets it back. 17 minutes left plus added time. Ball fed down the right. Nice idea. Alan Collins can't get to it. Scar heads it out of play. Throw to Wrexham, Bolton, right-hand side. 30 yards out. Taken quickly. McAtee. Back to Jones. He'll have to go backwards again. Wrexham in their mid-block where they look comfortable for so much of this season. And Rathbone does really well. As Toll just tries too much, runs him off the pitch, throws to Wrexham.
Yeah, he's made a difference, Rathbone, for me, and I know all the subs have. But Rathbone's just gone in there and started ratting around Sheehan, hasn't given him a minute, so they're not as comfortable on the ball, so the passes aren't quite there. He's helping Seb Revan out. He's going to go and double team the men, and we've just looked a whole lot better.
That's a good ball over the top for Smith, driving down the left, tries the first time volley, and it's on target. Keeper fields it comfortably enough, but again, that's what you get when you bring in a quality striker, a guy confident to take that on, and aware enough of his surroundings to realise there was nothing else on. Here's Barnett now trying to play him in. It's cleared. Smith though, it's great, isn't he?
Well, yeah, exactly that, Mark. You've just got to love the confidence. You know, obviously, only his second game in a Wrexham shirt and already trying those. Unbelievable.
That'd have been nice, wouldn't it? Nestled in the far corner. One of those very Vardy, Torres-esque, wasn't it? But just looks like he's constantly going to ask questions, isn't he, of centre halves running down the sides of him, and what that does then is it frees up spaces for Rodriguez and your centre midfielders then to play. But he's a handful as well when played in there. He's a strong boy. He's got a bit of pace about him. I think he's just been it's going to be a brilliant signing for us.
And he's so aggressive back then that running the channels, he's creating space and offering a really good target for players with a sort of passing range or something like that.
Yeah, but he's not running them just for sake. Yeah. He's running them with a proper intent of pass me the ball. Because if you don't pass me the ball, I'm going to keep telling you to pass me the ball when I'm running in those channels.
Wrexham win the ball back well. Rodriguez it was who won it, and now Rathbone drives to the edge of the area, finds Cannon to found something to shoot. He does. That's a great block by Johnston, who saw the danger and came hurtling out. Now it's Revan left at the edge of the area. Wrexham, after scoring, are continuing to push. Cross into the 6-yard box, headed away by Johnston, and helped back out to the flank where O'Connor has it, and once more Bolton penned in. Rathbone deep this time, works it back to the halfway line. Scar sets himself on his right foot, knocks one long for Smith to fight for, edge of the area. It's well defended by Johnston, and then Cannon commits a foul on the edge of the box. Cannon was maybe, I don't want to say he was lucky, but he's on a yellow, and he caught Dacres Cogley with a high boot. I don't think he was trying to get the man, it was more a mistimed challenge.
He was low as well. He was down, stooping to head.
But good as well, Dacres Cogley to make a drama of it.
Yeah.
Because he could have done. As now here's Bolton at the back. Wrexham putting pressure on in the box. Rodriguez forces a long clearance rather than a pass, and Scar gets there ahead of Collins, who tackles him. Scar recovers quickly though, and Collins, well, goes to ground too easily. But somehow the ball ends up with McAtee, and Bolton have got a chance now to get bodies into the box. McAtee again on the right-hand side. Beats O'Connor. Stands in the teasing cross, but it's too close to Okonkwo. He goes down and wastes a bit of time.
Yeah, I think he gets a little bit lucky, Scar. He just couldn't quite make that decision whether to use Arthur Okonkwo or just hit it out, or just wasn't sure. Ends up losing the ball, and in the end, the cross hasn't got too much quality on it. Arthur does well to just pluck it out the air.
He can use the keeper, can't he? Running back there, I think he just side foot steady back to Okonkwo. Okonkwo's got to offer and shout and tell him. So it's on both parties, really. But it just adds to the miscommunication.
Here's Wrexham again with bodies in the Bolton half. Cannon inside to Rathbone. Evans now 30 yards out. That's a lovely pass back to Rathbone, who looks to play a pass into Smith, which is rather difficult with two men on him. But Wrexham claim it back, and Brunt turns adroitly. Smith made another great run around the back of the defence. Rodriguez tries to clip it in. It's got too much on it. But again, good run by Smith, and you can see Rodriguez is seeing those areas and trying to clip the ball in. Didn't get it right that time, but you'll get him right more often than not if you keep making runs like that for him.
Yeah, and again, Evans with that, just breaking the line of that, midfield two. Thomason and Sheehan, I think it was that time, just gets that ball right in the middle of them and just splits them completely, something we didn't do at all in that first half.
Long ball is headed away easily by Brunt. Oh, and a high kick by Collins, catches Barnett, who hits the deck, and Collins will get a yellow card for that. I mean, he's complaining, but Barnett didn't look into that one. You've got to book him for that. I mean, talk about endangering an opponent, yeah?
But there was no stooping from Barnett exactly. There. That was a proper high foot. And he waited, though, for some reason, Collins. I thought he could have got to the ball and maybe nicked it before Barnett got near him, but he waited, and then Barnett comes in with his head, and it is a yellow card for me, that one.
Has to be, doesn't it? The free kick for Wrexham, 30 yards out. Last Friday I watched a women's under-19s game, and Barnett's sister is a left-sided centre-back, unexpectedly, as the long free kick skids off the head of Forrester safely to the keeper. Not that he had any real control of that header. The ball being moved around at the back by Bolton. They've got just over 11 minutes plus added time. And I wouldn't have thought there's that much added time. That second half's gone pretty quickly.
We're much more aggressive in our setup. When they're playing out, we're releasing Cannon to go and hit that third centre. We're not asking Marriott to run around and go and do two jobs. We're releasing and going, go on then, and that means Barnett can go and be really positive.
Wrexham tried to come forwards, and the ball ricochets for Evans. Yeah, I felt that in the first half when it was working with the two blokes at Crawley as well. The two new strikers, two blokes. That's another one. Smith's movement just tempts players to try and play killer passes. Scar played that too long. There's that sense of directiveness, but not just knocking it forwards, but actual direct service to these two strikers. As Dacus Cogley feeds it forwards, nice layoff that by Collins, and Thomason looks to play the through ball. O'Connor had stuck with the run of McAtee, out to win though, did well, and Wrexham clear it for a throw in the halfway line.
Nice pattern from Bolton though, into midfield, into the wide man, round the corner into the striker for a set, and then the 2 10s to run inside the fullbacks. Well defended though, both Brunt coming inside and O'Connor coming in and filling that gap that Dan Scar has left, going in with the striker.
Throw down a line, and O'Connor slices down out of play. Throw to Bolton about 30 yards out. Bolton have yet to really get any attack momentum going since Cannon's goal, and Wrexham will be happy with that. But surely Bolton are going to get some momentum going here before the final whistle is again. Wrexham working hard. Rathbone, you don't have to say he's working hard, do you? Really, that's a given. Tackles another throw in the same spot. 2 balls on the pitch, so again the ref's not going to allow the throw to be taken. Oh, and it is. O'Connor again reads it well. Rodriguez chips it long. Smith though would come short, and it goes through to the keeper. It's picked up by Forrester. Wrexham again in the mid-block. It's not the best pass. Cannon was tempted, couldn't get there, and Johnson's been able to play the ball into the space he's vacated. Nice change of direction by Aaron Collins. Scar improvises a good header clear, and Rodriguez back defending, does well, latches onto it on the left hand side deep in his own half. He holds onto it under pressure and walks it back to O'Connor, who's got no real target to aim at and just has to knock it away long. Bolton are preparing one of the 3 youngsters on their bench to come on as the ball is fed forwards by Johnston, and then Osei Tutu brings it forwards and spreads to the right hand side. Space now for them to drive forwards into. Thomason works it wide, cross comes in, well defended by O'Connor again at the near post. He's done well, O'Connor. Ball headed back down the flank. Jones tries to flick it, only finds Rodriguez. This time he delays his pass and cuts the neck off it, just drilling it to the left to Smith, and Wrexham have the ball and get back a bit of control.
Yeah, I think there might have been a chance to go over the top, but no harm in just keeping the ball, as commentators curse we just kick it out of play.
Yeah, Scar got that pass wrong. He and Bruns are having a post-mortem, and now here comes the change, and it's going to be Ben Andreucci He's going to come on for Forrester, so a striker for a defender. He's a Scottish under-19 international, Andreucci. But his experience is limited. He's gone onto the right-hand side of what looks like it's going to be a 3 now in a 4-3-3.
Well, we've slightly changed with Cannon, I think, looking for our setup without the ball. We're sort of playing that box with Rodriguez and Cannon being the two that are ready to jump when the ball goes to either side, and Smith down the middle.
Yeah, Cannon's been getting some nice advanced positions, and well, substitutions allowed him to do that, and of course to score that goal. But Wrexham get an offside decision, which will waste a bit more time. Andreucci's got 4 games under his belt as a professional, and they're all for Buxton in the National League North, because, like I said, they brought on already their 3 experienced subs. So that's well won in the air by Revan. Rodriguez puts pressure on and forces the ball clearance. Rathbone tries to play it early to Smith. Smith wasn't in position to receive it, and it's chipped nicely forwards to McAtee, but Evans recovers well. The backspin helped him. Brunt thrashes it clear, but that's Thomas, and good vision, works it wide. And Wrexham are backpedaling here. Revan has fouled his man, surely. No, ref doesn't give that. Well, okay. Aaron Collins went down too easily for the referee's liking. I think he was a bit lucky there himself, I don't know.
Yeah, he was definitely wrong side of him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But, I mean, he kept his arms down. I think maybe Aaron Collins playing for it a little bit, but yeah, on another day, I think it is a foul.
Sheehan with a diagonal, well won by Revan. Evans sets it for Rathbone, who rather hits the ball forward. But Cannon does brilliantly to flick it on, and Barnett surges through the middle. Smith has found space at the far post. Barnett carries it on himself and slices it well wide. Oh well. Brilliant movement by Smith, who got on the blind side of the defenders in the box. But, you know, that's dragging them back across. Barnett saw that opportunity. You just need to make a much better contact than that, having driven on yourself.
Well, the ball ends up right in between his feet, and so he can't, if he takes it to his right-hand side and keeps it away from the defender, he maybe gets a better strike on it. But because it's right in between it and a little push from Osei Tutu, he's just off balance when he's hitting it, isn't he? And it just squirms over the bar.
We've got Max Cleworth ready to come on as Bolton again look to build. We're into the last 5 minutes. Wrexham close to securing a semi-final spot in this competition at home to Peterborough, who of course are struggling but troubled us enormously a couple of home games ago. Here is Sheehan now cutting in from the left flank. Cannon sticks with him. The ball's worked back out to Dacres Cogley. Sheehan once more. Wrexham trying to stop that cross from coming in, trying to stop that space appearing around the edge of the box. Rodriguez steps out to put a bit of pressure on the Daxter. The keeper is stepping out into midfield to offer and receives it, but Wrexham kept their shape well and the fans appreciate it. Here now is Johnston. Out to Osei Tutu. Little give and go is a poor one. Brunt read it well. Now he's driving forwards. Smith demands it in the middle. Brunt, in carrying it forwards, I think rather cut off his angle to play that ball, but Smith curved his run well and wins a throw-in off the flank. Good work by Smith.
Yeah, Smith, really good run-in, giving him that option. But Lewis Brunt does really well as well, not just forcing it, not panicking, just making sure he keep hold of that ball, run down that clock.
Andy Cannon is coming off to a standing ovation. Max Cleworth replaces him. And it looks like he's going to go in. O'Connor hasn't stepped up, which I'm quite glad about. Actually, I don't like defences getting disrupted late on like that. Cleworth has gone straight into Cannon's position. You would see he's given instructions to everybody where they're going to be rearranged.
Well, he came on earlier in this competition, didn't he, and went in that midfield. I think he was more central that night for the last few minutes of one of them group stage games. He was outstanding at Ibrox when Wrexham were in that, well, we were in the Scottish version of this, bizarrely, as Scar has to defend the ball, launches it long. He was our best player by miles at Ibrox. He was superb in a defensive midfield role. Trouble is, he's so good as a centre-back. He's won a good header there, though, and Rathbone accelerates forwards. He's looking around to see where everyone is. Barnett's gone outside him, receives it. Cleworth supporting him.
like he always does on the right, except now he's the midfielder making runs ahead of him. Wrexham are happy to feed it back to the halfway line. It's passive possession, but they're dragging Bolton along, and it's game management. O'Connor put under pressure, feeds down line. Revan now has got a man touched tight. O'Connor was fouled, was he? Not given. No, Revan's turned his man and then accelerates and slows it down just to buy himself a little bit of space, and that's nice play by Revan. 2 minutes plus added time left. O'Connor drills it in for Smith, has a good looking ball, and the defender just gets ahead to it. Smith still chases it, and the keeper just beats into it. Smith was cocked and loaded and ready to swing his left foot at that, and I didn't think the defender was going to get a touch on it.
Yeah, the defender does ever so well, really. You've got to give him credit, because the ball in's really good as well. Sees Smith in between the two centre halves, but just a couple of hairs are able to get it up and off his volley, like you said, ready to volley.
Now here's McAtee driving forwards, players making runs for him either side. Who works in, I'll say Tutu, cutting into the box on his right foot. Can he get a shot off? No. Runs into a crowd. Cleworth is there in his more traditional position. Dakins Cogley drives in the shot, well blocked by Evans, but it's helped on. McAtee drills it, hits the post, and it spins away from goal. Gethin Jones on the right, back to Thomason, and his attempt to pass it, and it's intercepted by Rodriguez, but he can't keep it. Poor ball in. No, Evans breaking. Current got Smith ahead of him, and he's only 10 yards ahead of him. Well played, Evans, who holds on to it calmly, makes space, and Wrexham had the ball safely in their own half. Brunt forward, Smith barging into Johnston, once the foul. Ref doesn't give it. I think, to be fair, Johnston might have just had a tug at him, but only because Smith ran into him first, for my money. What a moment that was, though. McAtee drilling it, hits the far post, and it ricochets away.
Yeah, Wrexham get a bit lucky, don't they, in that situation? I think far too many players in red, just a bit flat-footed. Meanwhile, John McAtee's alive to it, and just, does it take a nick? I'm not sure, but just hits that far post, luckily for Wrexham.
I'll say 2-2 again. This time, though, he slices it and puts it behind. He did really well in the build-up with Deschamps hit the post. Wrexham be delighted to see that.
I think it's a goal if it's the other side, but it's on McAtee's left foot, and he just squirts it, really. He doesn't get a clean strike on it, and it's rolling. We're right behind it, aren't we? And you can see it's thinking it's going in that side, that post, and it just starts spinning away, and hits the post.
4 minutes added on. Feels a minute too much for me, but then it would, wouldn't it? He's added an extra minute on for the times when there's two balls on the pitch. Okonkwo knocking it long. Rodriguez does well to create a loose ball, but it'll bounce through to the keeper. Wow. So Wrexham digging in here. Bolton haven't threatened that much in the second half until then. And it could easily have cost us. The Wrexham fans, though, looking to sing their team home. Jones down the line. Wrexham having to dig in now. Revan forcing his man back into midfield, and then good interception by Smith, who bravely jumps in and gets a free kick. That's a card for me. Johnston, to me, was playing the man rather than the ball.
Yeah, he definitely knew what he was doing.
Well, it was he that Smith just ran into when he was asking for the free kick, and Johnston clearly didn't like it. Smith is staying down, and yeah, yellow card delivered to Johnston. The referee's in no rush to see if he needs a physio. I think Smith will be up when he feels he's wasted enough time.
Yeah, I think he told him early on that he didn't need anybody coming on. I'll just lie here for a few minutes, if that's all right by you.
Reads it really well, doesn't he, Sam Smith, to be in that position. And, you know, so many strikers in that area would just let it fly over their head. He knows, no, I'm going to try and get a nick on it, and gets absolutely clattered for his hard work.
So he's taken the chunk out of that 4 added minutes as well. Free kick on the halfway line. Scar will take it. He's in no hurry, understandably. Revan and Rodriguez are on the flank. It's played towards them. Jones as well to win it on the stretch. Evans as well to get an interception. Cleworth can't win the loose ball, and it's fed forwards, but Brunt is there. Evans fouled his man though. Free kick in the centre circle, taken quickly by Bolton. Referee allows it. It wasn't in the right spot, but I think it's close enough to be fair. And I'll say 2-2 now is driving towards the corner of the box. Cleworth and Barnett to beat. And Barnett stands up well. I'll say 2-2 will have another go. Hits the goal line, pulls it in the goal mouth. Bruns clears, and Smith will chase that. Can't quite keep it in. Throw to Bolton, 35 yards out. It's thrown backwards and launched into the mixer by Johnson. Headed in dangerously as well. McAtee is lurking. Scar only gets it partly win, and Revan mishits his clearance, and it's a goal kick. Bolton, well, are furious at that, but the ref's given the goal kick. I'm funny feeling they're not going to be that delighted with the ref in their post-match comments.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It didn't look like that. It looked like Revan swung at it, spun off his foot, didn't get it right at all, but he's gone then. Maybe just I don't know, I don't care either. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, that's the important thing, isn't it? We have to stick to the facts, won't we? Okonkwo will take the goal kick. As well, to be fair, you know, people watching the stream get a much better view of the little minutiae, and a lot of talk of diving by Bolton from people on Arse Wrexham. So maybe, you know, maybe the refs have spotted that. Smith gets it really well, beats Johnston in the air. Johnston tries to recover, but can't win it. And Rodriguez, that's a good chip down the line over the top for Smith. Offside given. That looked tight to me. But anyway, free kick. Baxter is racing up to take this. We've nearly had the 4 added minutes. Not long, good header away by Scar. Rodriguez as well gets to the second ball in midfield. We've had the 4 minutes as Rodriguez scoops a clearance down the line out of play. The referee, as Wrexham complain, is pointing out that the game was dead for a bit while Smith was getting treated. Well, while Smith was flattened, should I say. But here Baxter comes out of the box. The ref's going to give him the chance to launch this long. Osei Tutu heads it up in the air on the flank. Barnett is there fighting with him. Osei Tutu as well to keep her alive. Wins a throw in. 25 yards out. Rodriguez complaining. He says time is up. And the referee has blown for time. Wrexham are through to the semi-finals of the Vertu Trophy. A 1-0 win against Bolton. Claimed by Andy Cannon's terrific long-range shot. He received a good ball by Evans, sent Sheehan for a ride, and then curled it beautifully inside the right post. We've beaten Bolton Wanderers. Long time since the Wrexham have been able to say that. And as a consequence, we are one home tie now from Wembley. Bolton picked a decent team, to be fair. They've got suspensions and injuries. They picked a strong side. Wrexham kept the basis of the side that won at Port Vale. And Bolton were very impressive in the opening stages. Dominated possession, pressed Wrexham right back. And Wrexham had to dig deep. Okonkwo making a couple of very, very good saves. One with a long right arm extended to push the ball clear. But Wrexham had a good spell in the middle of the half, put some good pressure on. Energy from midfield was impressive. Lee had some nice little moments prompting, and Longman put some tempting balls into the danger area. Bolton finishing the half strongly though. Wrexham having to dig deep again and show some resolve. Okonkwo having to stretch with his right arm to make one magnificent save. But in the second half it was a different story. It was more even, and Wrexham grew into the game more and more. Cannon it was who would strike the winning goal. But Wrexham were energised by a quadruple substitution. The new strikers, Rodriguez and Smith, came on, and they were really lively up front. Smith's constant running into space and willingness to scrap was absolutely fantastic. And also Rathbone came on, and Rathbone was very, very impressive indeed, working ever so hard and creating problems at the back for Bolton with his prompting and an early service. And the fourth of those substitutions as well, Barnett, gave problems, nearly scored when he drove into the box and the halfway line, but sliced his shot wide. Wrexham had a bit of luck at the end. McAtee picking up a ball from Osei Tutu, hitting a shot from close range across Conco, which hit the far post and bounced away. But Bolton didn't put anywhere near as much pressure on Wrexham in the second half as they did in the first, and that was their one big opportunity of the half, in all honesty. And Okonkwo, who'd worked so well in the first half, made some good stops, didn't really have to make too many in the second, and none of real notes, to be fair. So Wrexham go through. Phil Parkinson, we all know, has got a terrific record in cup ties, and now he's got himself into another semi-final. Wrexham will face Peterborough United in a fortnight's time here at the racecourse. The prize will be a spot at Wembley. Wow, that was quite something. It really was. Wrexham beating Bolton Wanderers 1-0. And remember, there's a huge game, well, on Saturday. Wrexham looking to build on this, going to Northampton, of course. But then after that, on Sunday, the first of a terrific double-header for the women's team. We're playing Swansea in consecutive Sundays. Firstly, in the quarter-final of the Welsh Cup at the Rock. That's a massive, massive game. And it will tee up the next match a week on Sunday, when we face Swansea in Swansea for the last game of the league season phase 1. Winner takes all. The winners are in the top 4. Can Wrexham pull that off? So some fantastic football to come. And then, of course, 2 days after that, we will have a tilt at getting to Wembley. Wow, what a time to be a Wrexham fan. With the final score of Wrexham 1, Bolton Wanderers 0, we've been Mark Griffiths, Andy Morrell and Mia Roberts from Wrexham AFC.